Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of the Scrappy Angel podcast. I am Angel, owner and maker behind the Scrappy Angel bags. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I've got a lot of exciting things I'm ready to show you today. You guys can find me on Ravelry as Asarafin, first initial last name, and on Instagram and Facebook as the Scrappy Angel. Today is January 29th, 2024. It's hard to believe January is almost done. And I hope everyone's had a good New Year so far. I know mine has been nice and pretty relaxing. Yeah, I uh, I had a complete not meltdown yesterday, but just basically got a hair, and my whole studio has been torn apart because I was ready for things to be organized. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. Um, is just trying to make sure everything is in its place. You know how sometimes you get busy and you start pulling things out and you're crafting and you're checking this out and making sure this color matches, and it never seems to make its way back home. Well, that's where I was, and I had piles everywhere. So I just decided it needed it yesterday. So there might be a few things that you'll see kind of in between the cracks here, a little bit of a mess, and I apologize if you have anything, because I have a few things that I want to talk about, especially with the quilts that are behind me and the one that's on the long arm. And then I've got some finished objects that I am super, super excited about. So I hope everybody is doing well. And I'm going to go ahead and start talking about this quilt first, because this quilt I got, I know I had done some box openings for the So Sampler box that you can get from Fat Quarter Shop. And this was one of the ones that I had gotten, and I'll show you here. It's really cute. And I've had it done for probably a good 2 years now. So I finally got it on the long arm. I finally got it quilted. It just needs uh, a binding on it, but you can kind of see that's what my background is, which is a K fabric. And then some of the quilting on here, I just did a simple meander all over, and then I just kind of threw in some hearts every once in a while, which is always nice. I mean, if you are a new quilter and you are just learning, a meander is a great thing to do when you're first learning, because literally there's no rhyme or reason or wrong way to quilt it. And what's always good is every time you quilt, once you get comfortable with that, you just add an element. Like some people will add hearts. So you're kind of going around like this, and then you just throw in a heart, and then you keep going around. And that's what I did with this. Some people do stars, some people just do circles. You can do loop-de-loos and curls and stuff like that. So it just makes it very easy, and it looks more difficult, and people will be amazed at how much oh, what do I want to say? The texture. It gives it a very good texture. I will go ahead and give you guys a close up of this. I'll take a picture and I'll insert it. That way you can see what it looks like quilted and closed up. And I'll also take a picture of the back, because sometimes the back will show the design more than the front will. So that was this quilt, which is the Cupid's Bow quilt pattern. Again, that came in the So Sampler for Fat Quarter Shop. I'm just looking here. It doesn't say who the actual designer is. So I'm assuming that it was somebody that is on their payroll or that works for the shop. So the next thing I got done, now I've had these done, the top, not the quilting part, done for, I would say, 3 years. This was a kit that I had gotten at the quilt shop that I worked at. What happened is Robert Kaufman, it's called this prismatic medallion, And on a lot of the fabric designer or the fabric manufacturer websites like Robert Kaufman, Free Spirit, Andover, Art Gallery, if you go to their website, they have a place where they offer free patterns. And this was one of the ones that was a free pattern. So I just downloaded it and printed it out. But the kit came with all the colors. So you were able to put it together any way you liked it. And we kind of did it in a rainbow color. And the way you cut it out, I was able to get two of them out of the uh, one strip of fabric, which was basically a fat eighth. And a fat eighth is basically 9 inches by 21 inches. And with doing that, I was, like I said, I got a mirror image of it. Um, so what I did was I put it on the long arm, and then you can see right here, I have these little just scrap fabrics and stuff. Every time I put a quilt on the long arm, I always test out. I'm so backwards. Sorry, guys. I test out the tension on my thread to make sure that when I go to quilt, that I'm not going to get any nests in the back, or the thread's not going to catch, or I'm going to get any loop-de-loos, or it's going to, the bobbin thread's going to show through the top, or the backing will have the top thread showing through. So I do that. And then I went through and I quilted it. And then again, I will take a close-up picture of this so you can see how I quilted it. It very was, boy, that's great English, isn't it? It was very simple. What I did was basically this section here that I'm showing you, I considered as one. So I just kind of did a line to here and came down, and then I echoed it all the way down. So it really makes it very striking when you look at it up close. I know it's hard to tell on the video, so like I said, I will go ahead and pop a picture in up close so you can see it. I did the same thing for both. And again, you can see where I put the scrap fabric on. And then on the back, what I did was I had two half yard cuts of fabric of the same one. I'm going to flip around here so you guys can see. Here's the black and white, and here's the white and the black. And I just sewed it together. That way, when I put both of them on, I could just load one backing, throw the batting on, and then do both quilts. It just makes it easier that way. You don't have to do it, but that's what I did. It was a little bit longer than just the half yard. So again, by doing it this way and offsetting it, I was able to get them both done. So I am super excited to get these cut out and get the binding on it, and then find a place here in the studio to hang them up. Um, so tell me what you think, and if it's something that you guys might think about trying. Again, free pattern, Robert Kaufman's website. I will go ahead and link all of this down below. And the fabric that I used is called Bedrock. And I believe that is oh, I don't know. I'll write it down here. For some reason, it is like flying out of my brain and I can't think of the words. So again, I am super excited and I can't wait to hang it up in the studio. Okay, so now that I have taken those quilts off the long arm, I went and I decided to put another one on, as you do. And like I said before, I have a lot of quilt tops that need to be quilted. This one I've had done, I think, for about a year now. I think I got it done last year. I've had it for a couple of years. It was a quilt kit from the Sew Sampler box, and it is Rise and Shine, and it uses Tula Pink's homemade line. And you can see kind of here on the back, it's got like little sewing machines and little notions and stuff. So that's what came in the kit, and that's what I used to make this. I did the quilt is a 53 by 74, and what I did was I ordered a 108 backing. Now, if I would have ordered a regular backing, I would have had to have gotten probably a good 4 yards, maybe 5 yards for the backing. And that's because with it being wide, you would have to sew them together either widthwise or lengthwise in order to get it wide, the backing wide enough to be able to quilt with it. So what I did was I wound up getting a 108, which is 108 inches wide. And then I got it by a yard and a half. So a yard, it obviously 36 inches. So a yard and a half would have given me plenty to do the 53. Um, Sometimes I'll go up to 2 yards just so I have extra in case, because sometimes you never know what you're going to mess up or if you cut something odd. But what's good about having the 108, you have the less yardage, but I was able to put it lengthwise or I'm sorry, widthwise instead of lengthwise. And then, so here's the top of the quilt and here's the bottom of the quilt instead of it being the other way. So now I can quilt it from side to side instead of up and down. And it just makes it easier. A lot of people, they really believe that everything has to be straight up and down. You know, you start at the top and you work your way, but you can start from the side and work your way this way too. Just depends on how you want your designs to do. If you're going to do an all over meander, it doesn't matter which way you put your quilt because the quilting's going all over. Now I'm going to custom quilt this, meaning I'm going to use rulers and figure out how I want to quilt it. A lot of times what I do is I take a clear piece of plastic, which sometimes it happens to just be the page protectors. I'll just lay those on a design and then I'll draw out the design to see if I like it. And what I can do is I'll take a video of that when I'm working on this one to show you how I figure out how I want my design to do. Now, it's going to look funny because you're drawing with like a black Sharpie, so you can actually see the quilting, but when you use the matching thread, you won't see the actual thread quilting. You'll just see the um, the design behind it. And I'm probably not making any sense, and I'm really sorry about that. um, but I am looking forward to it, and I'll show you from the picture. It shows you what the full quilt looks like. So that's what the full quilt looks like with everything sewn together, because you can only see like a portion of it here. And I probably should have taken a picture before, but I'll take a picture after, and then I'll also show it while I'm um, quilting it. So there's still nothing new on the design wall, but I will insert a video. I'm finally opening up the box that has the t-shirts from my friend who wants me to do a t-shirt quilt for her son. So I'll take a video of me unboxing it and taking the t-shirts out, and then I'll insert that. And then as this will be like an ongoing thing, I'm hoping to have most of it done by the end of March because that's when his birthday is. I know she wanted it for graduation, but I'm going to try to get it done for his birthday. That way it's just one thing she doesn't have to worry about getting in. So I hope you enjoy the short video. Okay, guys, so now we'll get on to what's on the needles. And today I have my socks finished. So I know I was talking about how I wanted to do 2 socks a month to try to get through some of my self-striping yarn. And I got both socks for January done already. I am super excited. So this first one is Zebra Yarns, and it's in her Rudolph colorway. And you can see I got a 50-gram skein. So this was the 50-gram, and then the contrast was a 20-gram mini that came with it. And the 50-gram gave me enough to get to about here on both socks with a little bit left over, but not enough to finish the cuffs. and the 20 gram, I didn't have enough to do the cuffs either. So what I did was I just picked out a black that I had sitting in stash, and I just thought it was really cute, and it made it look like the hoof of the leg or the foot on a deer. So I figured with the brown and the red, the black was just a nice little pop. But I'm super excited that they're done. So that was the first FO I had, and I've already picked out the colors for next month. I was going to wait until the first, but then I was like, why wait when you can get them done? So the second one was it's called Vintage Tinsel, and I left it upstairs, but that was the main skein. It's a West Yorkshire Spinners, and I'm just getting it on the blockers now, but they are so cute, and they have stellina in them. So look at that. Look how shiny that is. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So the main skein obviously was that Vintage Tinsel West Yorkshire Spinner. Again, I will have everything linked below. Um, Sometimes I feel like I do good as podcasting, and sometimes I feel like I'm fumbling all over. But I guess if you've been watching for a while, you're kind of used to it. So the toe, the contrast for the toe is called Gilbert Grape, and it's from Porter Wool. Is that gonna focus? Sort of, kind of. Anyway, so this was I was doing row one minis for a while, and this was one of the ones that came with it. So, and then in the heel, it is called Mommy's Time Out, and that's by Lane and Lotus Fibers. But I just thought the colors went so well with it. So I'm super excited. I got to get some pictures. So I did start, I've made a lot of socks, but I have never put them on Ravelry because I do a lot of these with the self striping. I just do a vanilla sock. I don't really do a pattern. I will it later. I have the book 52 Weeks of Socks, and I've been wanting to go through those. But for now, what I did was this year I started where I am putting them in my Ravelry, and I will link Ravelry pages to the to all of my knits. Sorry, guys. You think I'd be used to being able to talk, but I still am a little crazy. What can I say? Just like I have what I'm wearing. It's the Swallowtail sweater. I don't remember who it's by. I will link my Ravelry page down below, and it'll have. I know the yarn is Julie Aslin, and the blue is Carrotin Farms. But again, I will have all of that linked below. Um, Going back to the Ravelry, I want to start keeping track of each project because I know I do a lot of socks, but I've never posted them on there. So I'm hoping to be better at keeping track of my projects this year. That's one of the goals that I have. We'll see how far I get and how long it takes me before I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening anymore. So anyway, so those are my two pairs of socks. The other finished objects I have, or well, they're as finished as far as the knitting goes. I still have to sew the eyes on them, but I got my niece's fingerless gloves done. These were the owl mitts, and these are, let's see, the owl mitts by Amanda Jones. Look how cute they are. But you can see, like right here, I've got little black beads that I'm going to sew here for the eyes on both of these, but they turned out so good. I am so super excited about it, and it was such a nice quick pattern. In fact, I got um one mitt done in a night. That's how fast it went. But again, this is on I used DK weight held double. And I will link the Ravelry page down below because I can't for the life of me remember the name of the yarn. Maybe if I go back. Oh, bronzer, not house. That's the color I used. So not only did I get these done, but I got the coffee cozy. I'm going to put my water bottle in so you guys can kind of see. And again, this I need to put the beads in for the eyes. But look how cute that is. And I used the same thing. I held it double. I used the bronzer, so I was able to get the mitts and this out of one skein of yarn. And that was one skein of DK holding it double. I'm going to take a little sip. So that, my friends, is, I believe, all of my FOs. Oh no. Oh. Okay. So, sorry. Do you remember that I talked about this granny wrap that I saw on the Crazy Sock Lady? And I was like, oh my God, I have the perfect advent calendar to use this for. And so I pulled out my Yarn Cafe Creations Advent, which was their princess one from 2022, because I didn't get an Advent. No, 2021, because I did not get an Advent last year at all, except for the Woolens and Nosh things. So what I did was I did all 24 minis and I got it done. I did all 24 minis and then I took the main skein and I used the main skein at the bottom. And this is all I have left. I didn't have enough to do another round. So this is just going to go into my extra pile for socks. But are you ready for this? Look at this. Isn't it wonderful? Oh my God, I am so super excited. So you throw it on and it comes down pretty far. Hopefully I didn't hit my microphone too much. So it'll be a nice cozy wrap. And again, it was fingering weight. I held it double and I just marled all the colors. And then you can see at the bottom where the main skein was. So I am so excited about this. This flew off the hook. I mean, when you say off the hook, literally, it went off the hook. It just, I just took them. I magic knotted all of the minis together and as I went, so I could just keep going. That's why you can tell where some of them end in like the middle and then it keeps going. But look at that. So if you are looking for something to do with a mini skein, this, or a mini skein, a mini advent set, this is something I highly recommend. Or if you have leftovers or anything like that, I I'm so excited. I might even be making another one. I don't know. I did I have been toying with the fact that I have the Radvent that we were talking about before that I had done, and I keep going back and forth on whether I want to continue or if I just want to rip it out and do something else with it. Right now, I'm leaving it. I'm going to keep testing the water, or not testing water. I'm just going to let it sit. It can think about what it's doing or what it's not doing, and then hopefully I can figure out if I'm going to do anything with it or continue. I love the Radvent blanket. I love the way it looks. I love the yarn that I am knitting with. I just don't know if I want to continue, but we'll see. That's something for another time. So those were my FOs. So now let's get into whips. And right now I only brought down two. Yeah, I only brought down two because there's only the two that I've been working on. And the first one is the habitation throw. And you guys have seen this before. And let me just make sure. There goes the yarn. It flew away. So the last time I showed it, where was I? Here I was. Okay. So the last time I showed it, I was right where the little unicorn is, right there. So I've only done that much more, which is actually quite a lot. So you can still see how it's going. I am on color number 13 out of 24. So you can see right where this little blue part is started. So that's where I'm at. I am hoping by the time I podcast next that this will be done because I am really loving it. And I think it'll be great to have to curl up under in the spring just when things start. They're not quite hot, they're not quite cold, but they're just right in the middle. Um, and I can just wrap up if I'm chilly, which is what I said earlier, but hey, it's okay. Angel will stop. So anyway, the other thing I've been working on is my before I go on, this is the Habitation Throw, and this is by Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. So, and then the yarn I'm using is the Advent I got. It was Indie Untangled. It was C to C, and that's all different dyers across the U.S. is how they did it. So each day you opened, it was a different dyer. So the next one is my Dreama, and I'll show you the picture again if I can get it out. So this is the Dreama Jen Steingast. And this is where I'm at. So the last time I showed it, I just had the I just had the collar done. So you can see I'm starting to get into the color work. I think that is turning out so pretty. So my floats. But yeah, I'm super excited of how it's turning out. And it's literally when I sit there and I knit, I love color work. It just seems to um it for some reason it just seems to go fast for me. So there's that. And the two colors I'm using are these two colors. So right, the brown or the orangey color is called Ponkin. It's on the Cecil base for Flies and Hellhounds. And it's 100% superwash BFL. Isn't that pretty? And then the other one is Tahiki Yarns, and they're Gunnison. And this is 57% wool, 43% polyacrylic. And I just think they go well together. And it really looks, I think it really looks nice. So I'm super excited. I've been working on that. I didn't get much done on a few other things, but that is what I've been working on. So that is the end of the knitting that I have. Let's see. I do have a few purchases that I'm going to show you. The first one is we talked about the t-shirt quilt. So I went and I purchased this. It's patchwork t-shirt quilts. And it comes with, gives you just little ideas of what to do with it. But the main thing I really wanted to know was how to process the t-shirts. So you're not going to just, because t-shirts are stretchy and they move, and if you try to cut them they'll go wonky. This will show you how to interface them so they're sturdy enough but they're still soft enough for when you quilt them. So I'm super excited, and this really goes into a lot of detail about, cutting and making sure you're on the right, um, the the correct line, where to cut to make sure that you've got everything you need for the what am I trying to say? The logo. So that way that oh my goodness, people. So here, this will show you. So make sure that you have enough around each of the designs so that way you are not sewing into it or cutting it off at the wrong time. And then again, the stabilizer. So there's a lot of things that in here that I think will be really cool for me to learn. So that was that. The other thing is I got my monthly, so if you haven't gotten it yet and you're watching, look away. But I got the monthly club, the yarn club from Woolens and Nosh, and this is on her Targy fingering, which is 90% superwash Targy, 10% nylon. And the colorway is hashtag Wes Anderson style. That is really pretty. Look at those colors. So I got that. And then I've been watching a lot of podcasts. And I got to tell you, um, I watched Chevy Rail podcast, and she got one of these. And then I watched my friend Carrie, and then she had one of these, and I was like, I'm not going to get this. This is not going to happen. And then I watched Kevin and Ray at Needles at the Ready, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I was talking to my group, and Carrie's like, yeah, you need to get it. You need to get it. So what did I do? I went and I got one. It is an emotional support chicken, and it's called Elt Hen John. How cute is that? And it looks like it comes in a bucket. And it shows nutrition facts and all kinds of things, and you can see the color. How pretty is that? It's just going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's all tongue in cheek, and they've got a lot of different names, and they're just really cute and really fun. Um, so I will hopefully be starting that here soon too. Like I said, I pulled out colors for my February socks. I've got to get those skeined up, and then I've got the chicken that needs to be done, and then I've got a couple of sweaters and stuff that I'm working on. Other than that, like I said, it's been busy around here. I've got um, new bags coming, and I'm hopefully by the end of the week the shop will be up and running, and I will also have the new bags ready to go. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.